All right, folks, welcome to Cheap Barbecue Reviews. My name's John, and I'm joined by
Jeff. Nice to meet you.
And this is the first ever episode. So, what are we going to do today, Jeff?
What are we going to do today? We're going to work out how this is all going to work, and then we're going to do an unboxing and unpackaging of the barbecue, and set it up and do some cooking, and see how it goes.
Yeah,
basically decide whether it's shit or not shit.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to achieve. And what barbecue do we have?
This I can't tell you.
Okay, so this is our barbecue.
Oh, that is the barbecue.
Yeah,
I can tell you that's the barbecue.
It is a QUMOX outdoor folding ventilation holes new.
Ventilation holes new.
It is the cheapest barbecue on Amazon. It was $18. And QUMOX normally make SD cards and thumb drives, but for some reason, someone wanted a barbecue.
Obviously, it had some materials left over.
So we're going to cut her open and have a look.
I was amazed that it's so thin.
Yeah, now don't worry if you're thinking of following us. We're going to do much more interesting barbecues than this going forward. But
this
just
is pretty interesting.
It's pretty interesting. Okay. As the absolute cheapest.
Oh, it comes with a carry bag.
Comes with a carry bag.
That is awesome.
All right, so that's what we've got here. All right, let's see what we're working with here. Oh, okay, so that can go. And there are no instructions.
No instructions.
No instructions.
Okay.
I do love these. I'll just pop that over there. Laser cutting. I think this is laser cutting rather than water jets. Means, you know,
precision.
People just take a sheet of metal stock and make interesting things. So those are our grills. Okay, they slot in together.
Oh, you've seen the picture.
Yep. And these go somewhere.
Across the top, maybe.
Oh, okay. So, oh yeah, I see. So let's go in there. Cool. Okay, it's all working.
It's coming together.
It's coming together. Some of the barbecues we're looking at are going to be pretty major projects to construct, but this one shouldn't be too bad. And for $18, there are very similar units out there that go for $120 for hiking and that sort of thing. So,
okay, this is probably a good option for hiking if it works.
Yeah, we're going to use barbecue briquettes today.
Oh, you have to carry those in hiking.
You'd have to carry those in hiking, although you could just carry what you need. But I reckon you could use this as a stick burner as well. No, things are going horribly wrong here.
Maybe I can hold it or something.
Yeah, that bit's going to need to come out a bit. So just hold that.
Sure.
Up there a bit, and because this has got the slots in the bottom. I think they just need to go in at the same time. Okay. Ooh.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's fine.
Pretty close.
That's a little close, but not
this
quite.
One's missing a slot. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, and then they go. Oh, there we go. Look at that. It's done. A barbecue has been assembled, and it's got a little cheese wire grate, which they use these on quite expensive hibachi's, and it hooks into the little
slots on top.
Slots on top. So that is a barbecue. So I guess next thing we need to do is light it up.
That's right.
Okay, so we're going to chuck a couple of firelighters in there. I generally just use 3. Because it will get it going fast. One thing to look for, with a new grill is if there's oil residue on it from the factory. You'll just want to give it a quick rinse down with soapy water. This one's fine.
No, fine.
But just something to look for when you're buying cheap barbecues.
No.
All right, in go the briquettes.
Right.
Now, generally speaking, that looks like it's going to be heaps once it's going.
Yeah.
I'd say you fill up your barbecue to the level you're going to want the coals to be when they're lit, and then you've got to arrange them in a little pyramid so it lights as fast as possible. Now, you can use a chimney starter to get these things going, but the chimney starter would cost significantly more than this barbecue, so I wouldn't recommend it for this one.
No.
And building the pyramid is just a process of doing it over and over and over again until it's about right. That's looking good, and we can just light it straight through the grates here, so...
That's pretty nifty.
Can we?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe not. Okay.
Let's get a picture of that.
There we go.
Look at that.
We've made fire. Excellent
Grand.
stuff. Now, it'll probably take about 30 minutes for this to be ready to cook on. So we'll get back to that. And it's not always essential if they're not easy lights to easy light briquettes to have them completely ashed over. That's more important if they've got lighter fluid built into them. So it's about 40 minutes later and pretty much ashed over. I think they're good enough to start cooking. We've got a few things to try and cook today. So what I will do is make sure that the ones that need a little bit longer are right in the middle to try and even out the...
One thing that you did notice was that the briquettes on the side...
they caught fire first.
Much faster.
Now we've got a load of heat in the middle and not much on the sides. And I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to find out. You want to try and get a fair bit of evenness with your briquettes. All right, I think that's as good as we're going to get. And let's... So the little clips... Oh, no, that hasn't worked. Let's try it the other way up. This is our first time with this barbecue, so there's a bit of learning going on. Okay, that seems to be pretty clipped in. That's good. Now, I would say do not ever use this on a non-heat proof surface. If you were to set this up on dry grass, you would have an extremely bad day. You'd be more firefighting than cooking.
You get to meet your local fireys, though.
Yeah, they're nice people. Now, we have quite a cheap piece of rump steak from Woolies to go on first. Normally I would go for T-bone or a Scotch fillet, but for a $20 barbecue it felt an overinvestment.
Okay. It's not quite big enough for like a tomahawk or anything.
It's definitely not going to do a tomahawk. Maybe in pieces with some sort of stabilization system. So let's try and get this on. I have put some salt and pepper on this steak, which is what I'd normally recommend. Some people like a bit of garlic powder, but salt and pepper will do it. Oh, look at that, it fits.
Perfect.
Hey, wonderful. It's not sizzling much though.
No, not really feeling the sizzle here. Is it, okay.
Well, there's heat under it. Something should happen.
Yeah. Could be embracing the slow cook movement.
There's quite a number of coals under it. It's going to cook. So we were initially suspicious that anything was happening here at all, but I was reasonably sure that if we had the coals there, something must be happening.
You had hope.
Yeah, and I think we're just getting to the point liquid's starting to appear on the top of the steak.
Okay.
So that's a good sign that it's time to turn it. How do you like the steak, man?
Medium rare.
Uh-huh.
Can I hold that? Can I hold that grill? Here's an issue.
Yeah, if you can just hold it down.
Yeah.
So it's...
Hang on a sec.
It's going wild.
A Teflon grill, maybe.
Yeah, so if you could just hold it down. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah,
It's definitely cooking.
definitely cooking.
All
All right.
Let's just reset that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And
Look at that.
that is surprisingly even. So it's cooked across the width of it.
Mm-hmm.
The end is not quite as well done, but it's going to cook. It's going to be fine. So
It's got some sort of proto grill mark things happening here too, which is nice.
well, you're not going to get that great grill marks on a cheese cutter grill. You're just going to get the Maillard effect of the coals, which it is delivering. I am actually surprised by how well this is working, and how even it is.
It's pretty even.
Yeah,
It's it looks like it's going to be tasty, which is always a plus.
it's a good start. I mean, it is more cooked in the middle than it is at the ends.
Yeah.
But the side to side is a lot more even than I was expecting. I thought we were just going to have a thin band of heat. So the sides are reflecting the heat up.
The heat up.
Yeah.
Is there is there benefit in potentially preparing the grill first, like with oil or something maybe, just to help it not stick quite as much?
Maybe.
You could-
Don't know. I mean, it's the first time we've used
Yeah,
this
yeah, that's
grill.
right.
So I think this one. How do you take your steaks, Jeff?
Medium rare.
Medium rare. I think
This is looking medium rare. We've got
I
some
think
juices appearing on the top.
juice is appearing on the top, which is my sign. Normally with one of these thin-ish steaks, it's not a minute steak or anything, but it's not an inch thick. Once the juices come through each way, you generally
You need a few more briquettes to make this a minute steak.
now that it's a bit seasoned, things aren't catching.
There we go.
That needs a bit longer though. We'll
Okay.
put that back on and give it a little more time to run.
Very good. It's good to get that sear. That was the seasoned side on the bottom there now.
They're both seasoned.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
both
both seasoned. Okay.
Yep. All right, so I think this steak is done, and just want to note that the sticking issues we had before, now that the grill is a bit seasoned, have largely gone away. So I'll just put that on a plate to rest, and we'll slice that up in a second and see how we're going. And in the meantime, we'll get the next course going.
What do we got on next course?
So we got satay chicken skewers,
Okay.
Woolworth's finest.
Locally sourced.
Well, from the local supermarket. Yep. Now, one thing with a grill this size is it's actually quite good for doing mini kebabs. So, look at that, and it's keeping
and it's sizzling first up. That's
keeping
good
the
news.
sticks out of the fire path. Can I get the next? Oh, there's 3. Too many.
Ah, bugger.
That's all right. So what we've learned is you can get 6 kebabs on this barbecue. And 8 would be too many, but that'll feed us. And okay, we've done it. Well done. So
well done.
it's
What about through the meat of that? That was a bit of a seam.
getting. We'll see. We'll see. Which side do you want? The crispy one or the less crispy one?
I'll have the less crispy one, if that's cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
There you go. You got your knife and fork there.
Fantastic. Here we go.
Let's have a mouthful. Oh. Still some pink bits around, up in there.
A little bit of, tiny bit of pink.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny bit of pink.
I'm not going to blame the barbecue for that, because literally the first time you cook with it, it's going to take a little while to dial it in.
Oh, it's definitely cooked meat.
It's cooked. It does have the barbecue flavour though. It's achieved that.
It's got a reasonable caramelisation on the outside.
I mean, the fact that I rubbed salt and pepper into it before we started is
That will help.
always a good start. So we noted before that there isn't a lot of sizzle when you put things on this, and I think that's because it's such a lightweight grill. There just isn't the thermal mass to hold it in there. So I'm just going to rotate everything around. You can see the stuff in the middle is starting to char down that middle strip that we knew had the higher heat. Things.
It'll end up being a bar chart for heat underneath. Won't it?
Yeah, pretty much. That one's going there.
Let's come along. So overall, it's pretty much a reflected heat, isn't it? Like there's direct from the coals, then you've got these veins directing the heat towards the center.
Yep.
But I mean, this I presume it's like an aluminium frame.
It says it's steel. Yeah.
But,
It's very thin
again,
steel.
it's very thin steel.
Yeah, very thin steel. So it's cooking.
It's cooking. It's not the speediest cooker.
No, but we could have loaded it up with more coals, but we didn't want to just burn things either.
No.
And chicken skewers, you don't want to sear at a high heat particularly either. That's why we did the steak first, to give it the best of the heat. It's going to be interesting when we come to cook the sausages at last, but yeah. Look,
It's more,
how do you judge a $20 grill?
does it cook your food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is cooking the food.
And it's not outrageously hot. I mean, I think you could up the heat, but there's not really the capacity in there to have a massive amount of
I probably
heat.
could have doubled the number of coals.
Yeah.
Because that top layer is the widest, and that would even things out, but it would be cooking extremely fast.
Yeah.
And that's where you actually want really thin stuff on there so that it cooks fast on one side, flip it over, cooks fast on the other side, and it's done. But chicken skewers are a very good real-world test of food you want to cook. You come down to an issue with something this small. Can you do 4 hamburgers on it? Well, if they were square hamburgers,
square burgers.
You maybe could.
Some sort of tessellating burger.
Yeah. You'd need to plan to cook for more than 2 people. And I have done dinner parties, where we've just had a continuous roll of food going on a small grill. It can be done.
It can be done.
You don't need that surface area to cook for 20 in one go. But geez, it helps.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
But if you need that, you probably don't need a $20 barbecue. Or an $18 barbecue. It's not even
$18 with free delivery.
With the free delivery, yep. Now, we will try, as this project goes forward, try and sell these things and see what their resale value is like after they've been used once. I don't think I can part with this one, though.
Look, it's very cute. It's very cute. I like the cutouts in the side here. It gives it a bit of a sort of a tech kind of feel. I think basically it may be to save weight. I don't know why they put these into the outside. These triangles.
Mostly weight. So I assume because the metal that they've cut out of it, are they recycling that?
I don't know. But why not just have like one triangle in the side?
But one thing I will say with cleanup, which is often a problem with barbecues, every piece of this can go in the dishwasher.
That's true. Yeah.
Normally an enthusiastic dog is, of course, a great way to clean your barbecue as well. But
we used to call that first rinse.
Yeah. So one thing we've realised is that there's a lot of the glaze getting stuck on the grill. So we're just poking them through with a steak knife, and this seems to be working a lot. It's adding a lot of smoke, but the smoke's good.
Oops.
And then we lose the whole show.
Let's just even that up. There we go. Look at that.
There we go. We're in the pegs. Okay. So I guess what we're learning is there are limits to a $20 grill or an $18 grill, and you've got to be careful.
Yeah. It could also be the glaze on the kebabs.
Oh
and
yeah,
I think that's what's clogging
this is at the end of the day a Woolworths kebab, and that's a pretty bare minimum for things you want to cook.
Yeah.
But cooking is occurring.
Cooking definitely is occurring.
It's doing its job. Would you want to be in a hurry while you're trying to cook for more than one person on this? Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not. It's not. It's not your end of the day. Get the food on the table for the family.
Yeah,
kind of arrangement.
Anytime you're cooking with charcoal, you've got to plan at least an hour ahead before you cook. It's not hard work. You literally just chuck the coals in on top of the firelighter and light the firelighter and walk away for an hour.
Yeah, come back.
These look done, Jeff.
They do.
They look a little more done in the middle than the outside. So the heat distribution
again is for the middle, even though we've rebalanced the coals.
Well,
rebalance.
Anywho, I'm going to give you 3 of these, and I'll give myself 3, and then we'll poke some holes in the crust, the bark, and we're going to chuck a few more heat beads in here. So,
sure. Okay. That's,
again, though, it's interesting how as the grill seasons up, it sticks less. So.
Yeah, well, sausages don't have any glaze. Are you going to fork the sausages before you put them on?
I'm not. I don't fork sausages. I let them do their own thing.
Their own internal sizzling happening.
But we're just going to put this. Can you just grab that? There we go.
Yeah.
And we'll grab a few more coals. Okay.
Okay, just balance those out.
I think that'll be enough. So we are going to have to wait while these relight before we do the sausages.
Okay.
But,
it shouldn't be too long. There seems to be a fair amount of latent heat.
half an hour or so. I mean, there's a lot of heat in here already, so it should catch pretty quick. We'll see how that goes. And before we turn the camera off, it
turn out to be a beautiful afternoon, though.
A very hot afternoon.
Yeah, very warm afternoon.
Luckily, we have cold beer.
Yeah, that's very lucky. So how did we go?
Well, you give me your verdict.
It's tasty. It's barbecued. It's
They're
well
cooked.
caramelized. It's definitely cooked. It definitely functions as a barbecue.
It definitely does. And if you're living on a balcony, but you want to cook outside, and it's just for you and a partner,
yep.
Or you want to take it camping and use it as a little twig burner, it would do that just fine. So,
not on days of total fire ban, kids.
Well, no. But we can't cook here on days of total fire ban. I had some faith in it, but considering comparable models sell for, chuck an extra $100 on the price tag, I would strongly recommend, if you want a cheap little barbecue that you can burn coals on and cook for one or two people. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a winner. I think it's a winner. It certainly barbecues the food. Cooks reasonably evenly.
Surprisingly evenly, I'd say in this
the
defense.
nuances.
Yeah.
It draws really well. It's got good airflow through the thing.
Yeah, and also I will just chuck in the dishwasher later. So
exactly. Nice. And it's got a fold-up pouch. Little pouch. You can disassemble it.
It comes with its little pouch. Where'd the pouch go?
Where did the pouch go? I've got the pouch
over there. Let's just show off the pouch to the camera again.
Little pouch here.
Yeah.
It's probably quite flammable, so I wouldn't put it away hot.
No. But it's so thin. Once you get the ashes out of it, it's going to be fine. Cool. Well, we will eat and wait for the thing to heat up, and we'll do some sausages.
Let's see how that goes.
So one thing we've learned is the ash does collect in this thing in a way that stops it cooking after about a steak and 6 kebabs.
Yep.
So off camera, we did have to do quite a bit of finessing to clear it up and relight new coals. So just something to be aware of. But if you're just trying to feed yourself and one other person, 3 rounds of cooking is probably not needed. We're more doing this to give a completeness of, reviewing food.
Yep. Yeah, the ash definitely clogged the air vents down the bottom, so it didn't draw as well. We found that with the firelighter as well.
Oh, it was a pain to relight.
Yeah.
Unexpectedly. But
I got some sizzle action first up here. That's good. It hasn't happened with the other stuff.
Oh yeah, it's got some sound there. And
6 sausages.
6 sausages just fit on. I'll move that one over a little bit and make some room.
What sausages have we put on here?
This is just Woolworths standard beef sausage.
Yep.
Look, it was sitting next to the low-fat beef sausages, and I nearly bought the low-fat. I thought, you know what? When I eat a sausage,
you want to drizzle, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
So my tongs were dropping a bit of coal on the sausages, and in an ideal world, I'd have rinsed them, but that's not a fault of the barbecue. That's purely on me.
That's an operator error.
Yep.
Yeah. There is some interesting bluing that's going on the bottom of the steel here. It seems to be tempering itself.
There seems to be a coating of some sort disappearing, which is slightly disheartening. So maybe if you buy one of these, just burn it out before you cook on it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's definitely got a carbon coating on there.
We've got a Kelpie woofing at us as well, which is definitely adding to proceedings.
Yeah, the air conditioner as well. Don't worry too much about that.
With that recharged heat beads, this is kicking off pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
We're
going to need to.
There's not much. It's a bit of management required for this sausages.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fun. That's humming along.
So I guess what we've learned is, yeah,
Definitely.
load it up. Get the extra heat beads in there and cook faster is what we're learning from this unit.
Who'd have thought more heat cooks faster?
Yeah, look, any new grill is going to take a little bit of learning, and trying to do reviews like we're trying to do here, we're never going to get to know them as well as we should. But look at those go.
Yeah, we've got sausages cooking up a storm.
Look, I would do this on any grill. I'd do this on a $1,000 pellet smoker. I'd do this on a $500 Weber. You've got to rotate the food around to balance out whatever is causing unevenness at any given time.
It's like getting used to your oven. You know, it has might appear to cook uniformly, but it's got warm spots. It's got spots where it browns faster. And that's just experience with the object, really.
Yeah. I still think the heat distribution is surprisingly good, given that the heat beads are all down the middle.
Yeah, do you think that's the reflection of the steel sides?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I think you could pay a lot more money and not get as good a cook.
Yeah. Well, the sausages will be better than the experience of a pan fry.
Oh, much tastier. Yeah.
Much tastier.
Yeah, having said that, a pan fry costs you basically nothing.
Yeah, but you know.
It is worth noting that electricity is probably actually a couple of dollars.
yeah, a little bit.
All right, let's turn them again.
Let's see how quickly that's cooking. That's coming along.
Yeah, it really is. So that's doing less on the outside, but that's to be expected.
What's happening on these here? Oh, no, that's browning up nicely on the inside.
In fact, it's probably running slightly hotter than we'd choose, but we'll get some decent cooked sausages out of this.
That's pretty cooked on the panel. You just put it on though. That one.
Yeah.
Second last one.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon. No, not that one. The one next to it.
Oh yeah.
I think it's pretty black on that outside.
Yeah, let's manage that then. That's all right. Yeah.
On the what do you call that? The mesh.
Yep.
On top.
The grate.
The grate.
Yep.
I think it could be improved with some like guardrails on the side, just to stop sausages rolling off.
Well, they haven't rolled off yet.
Yeah, I know. And you're managing that particularly well. I'll give you that.
But you can easily buy a $300 hibachi. That won't give you a better grill. It will be exactly the same grill.
Yeah.
Maybe a bigger one. I'll give you that.
Well, honestly, I think for $18, it's performed remarkably well. I
have bought worse barbecues.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who may be watching this have spent a lot more on barbecues and got a lesser result.
It's, fundamentally all you're trying to do is have something that holds the coal, holds the food, lets the air get to the coals and the heat get to the food.
Yeah.
That's all you're looking for in a coal barbecue. Does this deliver this for $18? Absolutely it does.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
And then you come into the form factor where it literally packs up into an envelope. And I would, if I was taking it camping, I'd burn twigs in it.
Yeah. But you can get a decent bit of coals in there.
Yeah.
With reasonable twig management.
Yeah.
It is cooking quite quickly though.
It really is. Give that some more on that side.
Just take a moment to comment here on John's excellent tong management.
Yeah,
It's the hands of experience there.
it takes learning from 1,000 disasters.
At least you're learning.
So these are nearly done, and it's been surprisingly painless.
It has. It has.
Getting the coals relit was surprisingly painful. You've really got to poke out the ash that builds up at the bottom. But once they were going, and I think what this has shown us is that we were probably a little underloaded before, because this thing works better with more coals in it.
It does.
Yeah.
They've cooked them surprisingly quickly.
Yeah, sorry, I'm
given
astonished.
Yeah.
Chicken skewers took half an
They
hour.
know. These have been done in about 10 minutes. So do you think maybe, say for the steak, if we'd loaded it up a bit more at the beginning?
We'd have got that sear faster, and it would have left the inside pinker.
Yeah.
Which is medium rare kind of guys would have been a bit better. Having said that, I thoroughly enjoyed eating that steak.
Yeah,
so I don't have a problem there. So
is it effectively just having to load it for every course?
well, I'd say the real thing is it's not really built to do as many courses as we're trying to do.
Okay.
At least not with briquettes, which do generate a lot of ash. Maybe with lump charcoal, maybe with twigs.
Yeah.
But for fairness' sake, we're trying to do everything with briquettes just to give some consistency. I don't know. What do you reckon? I think these are ready to come off.
They're pretty ready to go.
Okay, we're just going to reset the camera so you can see us, and we'll give you some closing thoughts.
Sure. Okay.
Part of the idea for this show is that we're going to sell these barbecues and rate how easy they are to sell, but I don't want to sell it.
Don't want to sell it?
No, I want to own it.
Own this one?
Yeah, particularly because it's not going to take up a lot of room in the shed.
It's really not. No. No, I think you're onto a winner there.
Oh yeah, these are cooked through.
Yeah.
Okay. It's always a worry with sausages, particularly if they're cooking fast, that you're going to get charred on the outside and raw on the inside.
That's true. That's true. These are cooked all the way through, though.
Yeah. So this has done its job, and it just has that barbecue flavour.
Yeah.
Which is what we're here for. So, I'll let you have that mouthful.
Sure. Yeah.
Our initial grading scale for these was going to be shit, not shit, and I think this is definitely a not shit.
It's not shit.
To the point I want to keep it.
Yeah.
It is limited.
It does have its limitations.
But for $18, I'm willing to live with a lot of limitations. And for a significant percentage of what, as we're a childless couple living here, it's just fine. That would be just fine for cooking some pork steaks on a Friday night instead of firing up a bigger barbecue that uses more fuel.
It also slips into a little travel pocket. It all folds down, and it can just it's eminently portable. Just need some firelighters and a little bag of beads.
Yeah, and you could boil water on that if you had to.
For sure.
So as a stove for camping, it's pretty much got it all. If you want to get started into barbecuing,
this is the way.
Easiest way to do it.
This is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. I think with twigs or like a natural heat source rather than heat beads, you probably wouldn't get the ash accumulation across the air at the bottom.
Yep.
Which I think was the issue with relighting.
Yep.
Relighting it. But that said, it does draw very well. The distribution of heat across the mesh is
surprisingly good.
It's pretty good.
I was expecting it to be a lot worse.
Yeah, I was expecting to have like a very strong heat band across the center, but it's got that, and I think that's to do with the reflective sides. It just keeps the radiant heat pumping along.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
a good little bite. If a little barbecue is all you need, and you don't have a little space, this will do it.
This will do it.
recommended.
Yeah, highly recommended.
Nice one.
Yeah.